The shame monster. So I'm going to share an experience with you that I had. It was at a conference. It was actually the Evolutions Conference. I don't know if any of you guys went there. But these couple of therapists did this workshop. And I made the mistake of asking a question, right? So I asked the question, and they answered, and they said, and by the way, we need a volunteer for the afternoon session. How about you? Right? Like, okay. So basically what they did is they called me up. It was a big room, and what they did is they put chairs all around, and we were in the middle of the room with the therapist. And so he asked me, okay, who here would you like to represent your inner child? I was like, oh man. So I'm looking around the room, and I actually picked an old student of mine. So he comes in the middle of the room. Where do you want him to sit? And I'm sitting here, and so I like put him right next to me over here. Like, okay, well, now what do you want to say to your inner child? And I said something like, you know, I'm sorry you had to grow up like that. I'm sorry you had to get those messages about yourself. You didn't deserve that, and you're a really good guy. Okay? And so I'm having this conversation with the inner child, which was very emotional. I mean, I'm feeling it right now, even just like describing this. Frankly, I was blubbering. Those of you who know me, not a big surprise, but they called me the crier in treatment. I cried about everything, whether it was anger or shame or grief, fear, whatever. So then he asked me to pick out who would I like to be my shame monster. Now this was really hard because this was going to be ugly, because I had a feeling they were going to want me to talk to my shame monster. And so I picked some guy that I didn't know that was way over on the other side of the room, and he stands up and he's like 6'5", right? And he goes, okay, well, where do you want to put him? And I said, okay, how about right here? And he's like, oh, that's interesting. You're actually a couple of steps ahead of us, because do you realize what you did? You actually put yourself between your shame monster and your inner child. I was like, yeah, actually, I did recognize that I did that. And so he said, okay, what do you want to say to your shame monster? And so I'm standing there and I go, I want you to stay the heck away from him. Like something like that, right? And he goes, really? Is that it? Like, is that how you would be standing like that? I go, well, no, probably not. He goes, well, do it like you would do it. And so I got into it. I think I wound up. I was like, you stay the heck away from him. And then he says, okay, now I want you to talk to your inner child. And I was like, okay, don't worry. I got this. He's not going to get you. You're fine. I got this. Now go talk to your shame monster. I told you, stay the heck away from him. I don't want to hear it. He's a good kid. Leave him alone. And just like really let him have it. Okay, now go talk to your inner child. Don't worry, bud. We got this. So I'm going back and forth between these, the shame monster and the inner child. And when we got done, what the group helped me to realize was that when I was over here addressing the shame monster, I was this tenacious, fired up, protecting parent. And when I was over here, I was this like sensitive, nurturing, loving parent. And the reason that this exercise was so valuable to me is I kind of got to take all of these parts of me outside of me and like get to experience like being between them and being like a moderator. In fact, being a parent, right? So I was able to parent this kid